Leadership of both houses, my honorable colleagues and distinguished members of the National Assembly, let me quickly stand on existing protocol. I'm not sure how many members or how many people are here outside of the National Assembly. I'm assuming that there are quite a few people. I say greetings to everybody. Mr. President, it is always a delight when two arms of government sit together over a sumptuous dinner and sonorous and soulful music, such as we've heard from the Army Band. When we sit down at this time, this auspicious moment such as this, not to discuss state matters, but to exchange banters and high fives for a job well done, and to anticipate and gossip jokingly about the non-existent chances of the opposition in the next election. Mr. President, I don't know if Senator Rocha Azokorocha is here. I think him and I have a long overdue discussion. Members have worked so hard, Mr. President, night and day, all year round. And we're all looking forward to a long summer break with our families. We certainly will not be happy if we have to resume prematurely for an emergency sitting. I probably will be turning off my phones. I don't know about the Senate President, especially after my numbers have been publicized on the internet. I actually don't even have a number anymore. Mr. President, I am extremely proud of my members across party lines. And I must, at this point, single out the opposition members. I single them out because the APC members, one can almost take it for granted, and that's how politics is played across the globe. We can almost confidently say they are expected to work with party politics. Perhaps not all the time, but most of the time. And that's why I single out the opposition members. The opposition members in the House have engaged in constructive opposition as they watch their numbers deplete daily on the floor. And in the face of adversity, they have been amazing and truly patriotic in putting national interest above all others, in supporting this government when it comes to crunch time. I salute and I doff my hat to them. I suppose as we get nearer to 2023, their colors and their tone may change, but we'll wait till then. That will be just for the sake of politics. Now we're doing government business and they're in it with us together. I thank you very much for making it worthwhile. Mr. President, there's no need to go into details on what has been accomplished by the National Assembly, but one or two bear mention. The PIB, because it has been long coming, it has taken almost 20 years. Despite the perhaps what some may consider shortcomings or whatever word they want to use, I believe that the National Assembly has done well in putting the PIB together, and whatever else there is, we will do as we go along. The Electoral Amendment Act, Mr. President, I believe before we go on Thursday, we'll have a new electoral act. And in the new year, we intend to bequeath the country a constitutional amendment that is worthy of the name amendment, which hopefully will go beyond tinkering at the edges and bringing us substantial change in Nigeria. None of our many achievements would have been possible, Mr. President, save that you cooperated with us and saw us as partners in progress. And I thank you on behalf of the House for that. Mr. President, you particularly demonstrated this when you received the leadership of the House this afternoon, when we came just merely to present you with a report of the Security Summit, which we held some time back. Our intention was to come present you with a report so that the side of the executive that needed implementation, you will look at it and you will work the implementation as best as practically possible. We're going to come in and do it quietly, but to our surprise, but maybe not to our surprise, because we know that you take security very serious, the issue of security, which has come upon all of us. Which has come upon all of us, which has been with us, but has come upon all of us in this particular regime. You took it, we were surprised that we were met with a show of force. When we got there, you had your relevant ministers, Interior Minister, Defense Minister, you had the Secretary to the government, you had all the service chiefs, you had your Chief of Staff. For me, it spoke volumes, because you could have received this report and that would have been the end of it. But you put all the stakeholders together in your government to receive these reports alongside you. That shows commitment. It shows the passion that you have for this country and the unity of this country. That singular act this afternoon left us even more convinced about your determination to make sure that our country, Nigeria, works. Mr. President, we thank you very much for this dinner once again. We enjoyed it, we loved it, and we look forward to many more dinners. Maybe not with you as the president after 2023, because we will not be amending the Constitution like some party tried to do some time ago, some political party that is. But we look forward to many more dinners for those who will be here in the National Assembly doing the people's business. Thank you, Mr. President, and God bless you.
Thank you for that fitting applause, President, for his remarks this evening. Senate President, sir.
Thank you. The Deputy President of the Senate, the Deputy Speaker, distinguished principal officers of the Senate, honorable principal officers of the House of Representatives, my very distinguished colleagues, senators, and honored members of the House of Representatives, other guests present, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. Mr. President, I intend to be very brief. This is supposed to be a dinner, and it is. And we have so far enjoyed the meals, and of course the music. Mr. President, this dinner is beyond eating. I think the purpose of this dinner is to bring these two sides of government that have worked so closely in the last 2 years. We clocked 2 years in June. And we believe that this dinner is an opportunity for us to interact. But Mr. President, this is your event, your occasion. I'm sure you will say more on why we are here. My understanding is this partnership that has seen so much in governance is a worthy partnership. Since the beginning of the Fourth Republic in 1999, Mr. President, I've never seen a government that is so challenged in terms of the paucity of funds and resources, and in terms of the myriads and massive challenges of development, particularly when it comes to security issues, to health issues, and other social vices that we have to fight against. So for us in the National Assembly, particularly in the Senate, right from the beginning, we decided that we as senators of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, though political parties and ideologies may differ, but in brotherhood, we must stand. And therefore, I will join my brother, the Speaker, to commend my distinguished colleagues for making sure that the Senate remains focused, remains undistracted, and in spite of the differences in the political parties, we are able to deliver when it will matter most. And we have delivered so well. Your Excellency, the Senate and House have been able to work very closely in a very harmonious and cooperative manner. And that is the main reason why we are able to pass legislations and do little harmonizations and get such legislations across to you for presidential assent. So far, the partnership between the Senate and the House has seen the demolition of demons that stopped the PIB from being passed, that stopped the deep offshore production sharing contract from being passed. And in fact, today in the Senate, we passed the bill to establish the Electoral Offenses Commission. That too was stopped for so many years. And it is because we are focused, we are determined to ensure that within this period that we have been elected to work, we work as Nigerians, as people who are here to ensure there is good governance in this country. Mr. President, we passed the supplementary budget, and your request was for more resources to the security agencies. I want to say here that, Mr. President, there is no better investment in Nigeria today than investing in the security of lives and property of Nigerians. And I will go further to suggest that in the 2022 appropriation bill, we should have more resources devoted to the security of this country like we have started with the supplementary budget. Because we need to build on this platform of the supplementary budget so that we are able to sustain whatever victories and triumphs our security agencies are getting today because of the improvement in resources made available to them. Mr. President, I want to also join the Honorable Speaker to thank you for the partnership. When we came in 2019, both the Senate and the House have in their legislative agendas the turning around of the budget cycle, which was so unpredictable before. And Mr. President, when we insisted that we would like to pass the budget before the end of December, you came in. You stepped in and gave the directive, an order. That order to stop every minister or chief executive officer of any agency of government from traveling out before he or she defends his or her budget has worked so well. And we have been able to pass the last two budgets before the end of December. And Mr. President, we have signed before the end of December. I want to commend you and your team for that. But for us in the National Assembly, in this assembly, this is going to be one of our major legacies. Today, the economy of Nigeria is what it is. An improved economy, an economy that has survived so many shocks simply because we have been able to pass the budget in good time and the implementation started in good time too. Otherwise, it is better imagine what the economy of Nigeria would have been without the budget being passed in so record time. Mr. President, 2022 appropriation bill is expected. We are prepared to receive the 2022 appropriation bill at the end of September by the grace of God. Ours is to continue with that our commitment of ensuring that we work on whatever is submitted to us, that we scrutinize and conduct all the necessary legislative duties to ensure that our scarce resources are properly targeted and prudently utilized. Mr. President, finally, I want to assure you, and through this medium, assure Nigerians that the Constitution review, which our committees in both the Senate and the House are undertaking presently, would be likely concluded before the end of the year. But I have a suggestion here. We have listened to so many agitations, so many issues be raised by Nigerians. I will urge Nigerians who feel very strongly about any issue not to sit at the corner of your house or your room and say, this is what you want. Come out, look for others, consult with others, talk with others, build consensus. That will make it possible for the National Assembly to quickly and easily review the Constitution to reflect your needs. When we are able to build consensus, we are able to make our nation more stable, more peaceful, and greater. Mr. President, once again, I want to thank you for this dinner. May God bless the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Amen.
Thank you very much.
The relationship between the executive and the legislature is at the cornerstone of our system of government. Our ability to govern in the best interest of the Nigerian people depends to a great deal on effective collaboration and partnership between the legislature and the executive. The obligation to check and balance each other is not an invitation to conflict, and it should not be characterized by quarrelsome disagreement when consultation, engagements, and compromise have proven time and again to be a more effective approach. In the Ninth Assembly, you have distinguished yourselves by your conduct in office, by the scale and quality of your legislative interventions, and by your capacity for engaging with the difficult questions facing the country with maturity and competence. This much is apparent in the fact that your legislative accomplishments, ranging from returning of our budget cycle to January to December, the amendment of the Companies and Allied Matters Act, KAMA, the Nigerian Police Act, the Finance Act, the Deep Offshore Production Sharing Contract Act, among others. You have also succeeded in overcoming the political and other obstacles that have for 2 decades inhibited the much needed reforms of our oil and gas industry, resulting now in the passage of the Petroleum Industry Bill, PIB. I congratulate you all and thank you for your contributions to the difficult yet necessary task of nation building. It is our collective fate to have come into office at a time of significant challenges for our country. Overcoming these challenges require that we finally confront long-ignored questions of economics, politics, law, and history that are often at the root of our national problems. This moment in history requires us to make hard choices, take difficult decisions, and act with diligence and patriotism to ensure that our country can survive and thrive long after we have all left. What this means, in effect, is that our jobs will not get any easier. However, the objectives we seek and will work together to achieve deserve our best efforts, regardless the sacrifice. Insecurity, manifesting as insurgencies, banditry, kidnapping, and urban crime of all sorts is the single most difficult challenge we face today. Insecurity gets in the way of our ability to build infrastructure, provide the much needed social services to our people, and to attract investment that drive innovation, create industries, and provide jobs and create wealth. Some of the people who perpetuate these various manifestations of insecurity do so for profit. Others in the name of discredited ideologies. Whatever their motivations may be, their actions are an existential threat to our country. In the circumstances, we must do everything within our power without consideration of distractions to put an end to their activities and bring them to book. We cannot allow ourselves to be distracted from this objective or waver in our commitment. And I am confident that together we will triumph in our present efforts. As the second legislative year of the 9th Assembly has just come to an end, this is a good time to jointly review our shared commitments, to identify what has been achieved and what is still left undone. This way, we can prioritize activities and allocate the resources necessary to ensure that in the lifetime of this Assembly and of the administration, we can complete the work we have started and leave behind a record of achievement that will stand all of us in good stead in the assessment of history. I thank all the distinguished senators and honorable members of the 9th National Assembly for your contributions to governance. I wish to especially thank the Senate President, Senator Ahmed Lawan, and the Speaker of the House of Representatives, Right Honorable Femi Wajambia Miller, for your dedication and your leadership of the 9th Assembly through these challenging times. The priorities that have motivated the legislative actions by the 9th National Assembly evidence a deeply held commitment to the peace, progress, and prosperity of our beloved country, and I am glad to have you as my partners in government. Let me now commend the role of minority parties in the Assembly for their cooperation and support for government programs. The National Assembly will remain in full partner in national development, and I look forward to continued collaboration and partnership between the executive and the legislative arms of government as we work together to achieve our shared vision of a peaceful and prosperous country. I welcome you all to the presidential villa this evening, and I thank you for being here today. God bless us all, and God bless the Federal Republic of Nigeria.